all sit down, please.
You're not going to know what to do with it.
Welcome to Betty's Snacks. My name is Nancy Yates, and I'm the environmental manager of the complex. We're very proud and pleased today for, not the first time, for maybe the 10th time, to have Marla Isaac here with her Wild Bird of Prey show. I would only ask that everyone stay seated because she's going to have the birds out and she will walk around so that everyone can see them. So wherever you are, you'll be able to see. And please try to stay calm and settled so that you don't freak out the birds.
Oh, that's okay. And if everything goes okay, I'd like to do a little demonstration. That's why I need the center empty out. So I'm going to start. Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Now, I know I don't have my cordless mic with me, so my voice is going to have to throw the best I can. So I'm going to ask the kids and the adults if they can keep it down a little bit so I don't have to challenge with what we're talking about. I've been doing this, reptiles probably for 30 years, since the 70s, birds of prey since the 80s. I started out with falconry, I hunt with birds of prey, and then I went into educational programs, and now I do rehab with birds of prey. We just had a red-tailed hawk this morning that I had to go get, that a gentleman found on the side of the road that was hit by a car. It's at West Bridgewater Animal Hospital right now. Dr. Mike Reiner is my vet. He takes care of things like he used to work at the zoo. And if you're following the story with Eddie the alligator, he's the one that took care of Eddie, the alligator that was injured in June in New Bedford, and Eddie's doing fine. I have Eddie. And Eddie might be placed in a zoo in 2 years as he gets bigger. He's very aggressive. So we're going to talk about birds of prey today. Does anybody know what a bird of prey is? What's a bird of prey?
A bird that eats meat.
Okay, it's a bird that eats meat. Well, penguins eat fish. Great blue herons eat snakes and frogs in the marsh. So they're eating meat. They're eating other animals. Why aren't they birds of prey? Does anybody know why? Why aren't they included into the birds of prey group? What is it about a bird of prey that makes it very unique? What feature on the bird?
It's claws.
And what are those claws called?
Talons.
That's right. Penguins don't have talons, neither do great blue herons. Okay. This is what an eagle would have on a talon, on one digit, on one toe. This is a talon. Talons are used to grab their victims when piercing their victim, killing it. The reason we wear gloves, because this will go through flesh and come right back up. Ouch is right. Birds of prey have extremely strong toes and strong legs. That's the only thing they got going for them. So you gotta understand. They break as easy as any other kind of bird. As we demonstrated this one with his poor red tail that got hit by a car. He's crushed inside because he's fragile. Their legs are the only strong thing they got going for them. We're gonna look at two. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to explain something on the Migratory Bird Act. All native species of birds of prey are protected by law. You are not allowed to touch any of these birds or handle them against the law. It's a felony because they're native. If they had exotic birds of prey, they don't fall under the Migratory Bird Act. Okay? So I want to clear that up because there's been some confusion in other shows where people have handled birds of prey. They don't handle native ones, okay? I have native. So all the birds you're going to meet today are birds of prey that you would see around here. We're going to meet owls, falcons, hawks, and vulture, okay? Body parts, such as these skulls and the feathers and any body parts I have, are also under the Migratory Bird Act. There's a lot of permits here. And you cannot get into this or handle these body parts or feathers unless you have federal and state permits. And the reason is, at one time, people used to kill birds of prey for their feathers and make ornaments out of them and mounts. It's illegal. You can't do that, okay? In order for that never to happen again, that is why the Migratory Bird Act protects birds of prey so diligently, so that you cannot have these things. These are only used for education. We have two permits on the birds of prey here. One is education birds, and there is a falconry bird here. Okay, and I'll explain that. There's a difference in that. So we're going to look at diurnal birds of prey. Does anybody know what the word diurnal means? Any of the kids know what diurnal means? Because I think we're diurnal right now. That's right. Active during the day, sleep at night. Who are the nocturnal ones?
Like owls.
That's right. I gave who are they? This is a red-tailed hawk skull. Okay. Red-tailed hawk's a familiar bird that you see soaring in the sky, sitting high on the side of the road in a tree. He hunts during the day. Birds of prey that are diurnal have 3 to 4 times greater eyesight than you at perceiving details at a greater distance. Sort of like having binocular vision. What is the advantage of being up so high if you're hunting with your eyes? Anybody know?
That your eyes have to be really good.
Okay, but what is the advantage? Why would the bird not want to hunt if he can see down here? Why does he want to be way up there?
Because it was trying to catch a mouse and the mouse was asleep.
That's right, so it can't be seen. What other advantage could it serve? So it can't be seen. What other advantage? Anybody ever climb a tall building? Anybody ever look out a tall building? You can see better, can't you? Than if you're confined to the ground. So, when you see a diurnal bird of prey hunting, remember that bird is scanning and covering more area than you can if you're confined to the ground. Owls. It's a great horned owl skull. You see the eyes in front are like headlights on a car. Actually, owls can fly great distances. They can fly high up in the sky. Some owls migrate like snowy owls. They migrate this way from the Arctic Circle. But owls don't necessarily hunt sitting way up in a tree. Owls like to sit closer to the ground. Does anybody know why? How does an owl hunt?
Because they're white, so they can't be seen.
Okay, so that's a snowy owl. So it's camouflage, right? But why would the owl want to be closer to the ground? Any owl. Well, how does he hunt? Does he use his eyesight or his hearing?
His hearing.
That's right. Owls can see better during the day than they can at night. They see in black and white. They use their hearing. The reason the owl has a circle face or a heart-shaped face is that those feathers channel sound into the owl's ears, sort of like a satellite dish. Now, your ear openings are what I call symmetrical. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? They're located symmetrically. What am I talking about? Are you the only ones down there that know all these answers?
There's somebody up here.
All right, who has it? Go ahead. Yeah, so if I drew a line, your ear openings match, don't they, if I drew a line, right? In the same place? The owl's ear openings are what we call asymmetrical. They're like this. Is that weird? You got one way up here? Okay, one here. That's kind of strange, isn't it? That's very strange. That's because the owls can tune into high-low frequencies, okay? They can hear a heartbeat of a mouse in a log, or they can hear a bird breathing at night. I would not want to have that hearing, okay? A lot of people think when you do shows, you have to be quiet with owls. No, you don't. I've done shows in front of rock and roll big loudspeakers. And the owl just stand there. But he can actually single out those sounds and listen to other sounds. So it really doesn't bother them, okay, like people think. But owls have very good hearing. And because he hunts by hearing, not by his eyesight as much, he has 7 more vertebrae in his neck than you do. So he turns his head to see what he's hearing behind him without giving his position up by moving his feet. So that is pretty cool adaptation. How the feet are different in the birds and diurnal? Does anybody know why birds and reptiles are closely related? You're not related, so stop it. Here's my voice. It's a new bird. It's totally imprinted. Screamer. We call that a screamer for 1 year. It'll drive you nuts. Does anybody know why birds in general, and another word for birds is apes, why are birds in general so closely related to reptiles? Anybody know why? And this will tell you if you look at this bird's foot. What's it got on its skin? That's right, scales. There are actually 5 similarities to reptiles, but I'm not teaching a biology class. So, basically scaly feet, okay? They have scales, sort of wonder where the dinosaurs went. This is a red-tailed hawk's foot. It's the left foot. The hind toes called the hallux. These are killing toes. If they use the little toe, they can pretty much still survive. Birds of prey have opposable hallux. What do we mean by opposable? Does anybody know? Do you have an opposable digit on your hand? Your thumb, that's right. So this bird can do this completely with its foot. And that's what I mean, they grab with his feet. Very, very strong feet. So, great horned owl's foot. 3 toes in the front, there's the hallux, the hind toe. Except owls have an adaptation. They can rotate their outer toe, this is the right foot. The outer toe to the back and have 2 toes in the back, 2 in the front. Reason is, owls love to carry their stash. That means when they make a kill, they can't eat it all. So they hide it somewhere. Under a bush, under a log, in a knothole. I've actually seen little birds stuffed in knotholes that were dead with their feet sticking out. I had a guy once who was a hunter in the woods, and he said, "Lady, why is that bird dead in a knothole with its 2 legs sticking straight out? It's dead. Did it fly in there and die?" I go, "No, it's an owl stash. Owl stuffed it in there, the 2 legs are sticking straight out, it's a dead bird." And I pulled it out and half the bird was gone, eaten. Put it back, I said, "That's his dinner for tonight. He's gonna come back and eat it, okay, unless something steals it." Because owls do that, owls have to have equal leverage in their carrying abilities, okay? This bird can carry, but not as well as an owl can. And owls can carry more than half their body weight. There's another exception to the rule. In nature, there's always exceptions to the rule. This is a fish hawk. Anybody know what's a fish hawk? Eats fish. What's this called? Those big stick nests sometimes people put up an osprey's foot. That's what an osprey uses to catch his fish with. Look at those talons. Because the osprey has to carry off a fish, sometimes weighing more than half its body weight, it has to have the same design in the feet. It has to have this ability to rotate the outer toe to the back, so it can have 2 toes in the back, 2 in the front. Gives it better leverage for carrying, okay? Remember, the bird has to fly. If everybody sees some of these ospreys, they grab fish that are sometimes so big they can barely get it off the water. Actually, ospreys die by catching fish too big. Sometimes these talons get stuck in the fish's gills, and the fish goes to the bottom, drowning the osprey. The osprey can't get back up. These are all rules of nature. Trial and error, birds die in many ways. Also, the osprey's toe pads have what we call scales that stick up, called spicula. And they make the toe pads very rough so it can hang on to the fish. So even though this bird's adapted for catching live fish and taking off with them, it can sometimes die from a fatal leg by catching that fish. There's another exception to the rule on the heart-shaped face. Anybody know what a northern harrier is? You ever see a northern harrier? Usually the marsh. It's a big... Don't they hover over the marsh sometimes? Do you know they have an owl face? They have actually a face like an owl, and it's not an owl. It's a hawk. And he actually, what he's doing is he's listening to mice and voles in the grass, or insects in the grass. And when they hover, they actually run in and they grab them with their feet. So that's an exception to the rule, too. Adaptation. Now, the reason the owl has to carry his stash and hide it is because the owl's digestive system is different than diurnal birds of prey. Anybody know what this is?
Owl pellet.
That's right, owl pellet. All birds of prey regurgitate one of these. Eagles do it, red-tailed hawks do it, vultures, everybody does one of these. The reason you don't dissect an eagle or a red-tailed hawk pellet is because there won't be a prize inside. Their digestive systems are different. Diurnal birds of prey have a crop, which is a sac in the esophagus. So what doesn't fit in the stomach, which is the gizzard, goes in the crop. So he's got reserves. The stomach is full, but it can still fit more. And that's why red-tails and most of these birds don't need to carry as much. They can actually eat what they did, and they got reserves for another 2 or 3 days. Owls don't have a crop. They have a stomach, that's it, gizzard. So they can't fit very much in it, and that's why they hide their food. And because their digestive system isn't as advanced as the diurnal birds of prey, they don't process the large bones as well. A red-tailed hawk will dissolve just about all the bones. An eagle will too. If you ever look at a pellet from an eagle or a hawk, it's mostly either just the fur or the feathers. Very few pieces of bone in it to identify. On an owl, you get whole bones, sometimes the whole skull. This is one that I did not dissect. This this is why I pulled the top off. And all the white matter you're seeing is a rat. There is the job of the rat with the teeth and all the ribs and all the bones. If this was a red-tailed hawk's pellet, you would not see any of that white matter. There would not be those big bones in it to identify what it was. Isn't that cool? Oh, come on, looks like a fossil. Looks like a fossil.
Yeah, they spit it right out.
This has been
They spit
cleaned
out
and
that far.
shellacked, but
Right,
survived.
that's right. People look fish.
Gives you an idea. I have no idea what's in this pretty packed. You can see there's the bones and there's the tube. See that? So that was a red-tailed hawk. You're not going to see all these beautiful bones in here. So it looks like a fossil. So sometimes you get a whole skeleton. Sometimes you get ectoskeletons of beetles because owls eat bugs. And sometimes you get the whole ectoskeleton of the beetle. It's pretty cool. I know somebody said that they found a butterfly skeleton in there. It's just the wings that were actually left. That's pretty cool, huh? Well, I know what I fed my bird. Okay, this is one of my birds. And if you look at it, that's half the jaw of a rat. That's just half the jaw. Yes? If you're outside, it's going to be all right, okay? If it really bothers you, you can stand a little away, okay? Because sometimes dandruff does come off the birds, okay? Feathers and stuff. So if you're allergic, just don't get in wind of it, and I'll try to stay away from you, okay? Thank you for letting me know that. Pretty cool, huh? Hey, you gotta love this kind of stuff. Come on now. I deal with animals that eat other animals, okay? It's kind of a cool lifestyle. You know? You see these things. Now, by the way, I didn't bring an osprey today, but that's what an osprey egg looks like. That's the weirdest thing. It looks like an Easter egg. So I thought, some kid said, that's an Easter egg. I says, no, that's what an osprey egg looks like. Okay. This is actually a replica, but it's pretty cool. That's as big as it is. It's actually weighted the right weight and everything. But that's what an osprey egg looks like. Pretty colorful, huh? That's pretty neat. I'll have to get a hold of a wild eagle to replica of an egg. Now, these are peregrine falcon eggs. This is what a peregrine falcon egg looks like. They're brown with specks like this. These are dummy eggs. These are replicas too. These are used in breeding birds of prey. Okay, it's like chickens. You fool them. You put these under them. They incubate these while you put the eggs in an incubator. You get a couple of hens and the chicks under there. You take these away. Birds can't figure it out. Okay, they're not as smart as we are. Peregrine falcon. It's a bird that we lost in North America because of a pesticide called DDT. You know, we're learning something about pesticides, even still today. DDT has been banned in this country. It's still used in third world countries to control malaria, which is a dangerous disease transmitted from mosquitoes and insects. We try to clean our environment up. Because what affects nature out there, sooner or later affects you. CNN did a study on their reporters that go abroad to see if they've been affected by DDT. It shows up in their fatty tissues. And that's something that's kind of scary. Nobody knows it will kill you, but what it did to the peregrine falcon and other species of birds of prey like bald eagles and ospreys was it stopped their reproduction. They'd still lay eggs. The eggs were so thin-shelled that when they sat on them, they never hatched. They just crushed. So all those birds died of old age. They didn't really reproduce back. How do we bring back the peregrine falcon? Because the peregrine falcon is now all across the nation actually breeding on our skyscrapers in big cities. Brockton has just been put on the registry for peregrine falcons breeding there. They just banned the chicks this year. Taunton looks like we might have a pair at the Superior Courthouse. I saw the pair. We haven't documented whether they've nested in there or not. They're eating the pigeons. New Bedford is on the registry. Fall River's on the registry. Every great city is falling on these registries for peregrine falcons. How do we bring back the peregrine falcon? Anybody know? Where did the healthy birds come from? Oh, I'll give you a clue. Ancient sport. What's an ancient sport using birds of prey? No, I'm not from Canada. I'm going to tell you. Citizens like you, not zoos. had peregrine falcons in your possession, dating back to the 40s, late 40s, 50s. What was it? Falconry. Falconry is hunting with a bird of prey. That's one of the permits here that I'm under. I'm a master falconer, as high as you can go. It's a hunting sport. Falconry, the history of falconry is kind of interesting. It started in China, probably around Mongolia, 4000 BC. 4000 BC, somebody found out that if you trained a bird of prey, you could put food on the table for your family. These birds became very important parts of the family. They were treated, this is where it came into royalty. The birds were treated like royalty. The family, the kids learned how to handle them. They would have several, maybe eagles, falcons, goshawks. And these birds would go out and they would hunt rabbit, duck, anything. The birds would share in the meal that they didn't want and they would eat the rest. So falconry was born. The UN, United Nations Heritage Program, declared falconry the oldest relationship between mankind and a bird. That is pretty cool, just like the dog. So that is pretty neat. So we gotta respect the birds of prey. Falconers had healthy birds. We donated them to an organization called the Peregrine Fund out west. They bred these birds and released them. We call it hacking. Hacking is when you take baby peregrines, and as soon as they're fledged and they start to fly, well, you gotta remember, out west it's big sky country, lots of land with nobody around, privacy. They put up towers, and these birds are put in the towers, and they learn to fly. They learn to hunt in these areas. Normally, falconers like to hack their captive-bred birds because we want them wild, and then they'd recover them. But those birds, they just let them disperse naturally, and that's what brought back the peregrine falcon. Also, escaped falconry birds. Some were escaped birds that got away to start breeding on their own. So by having the knowledge and knowing how to breed a bird of prey, dating back so long, we did not have to study that to figure it out. It was already there. So one more thing before we meet the birds, and that is... It's a red-tailed lockwing. What's the secret of flight? What do you think? Go ahead. Hollow bones, very good. Now, not only do hollow bones make the bone structure lighter, birds solve something, which is kind of amazing. You ever wonder how a Canadian goose that truly migrates makes a great migration? Some of these birds don't come down for over 20 hours. How do you stay up there? You can't be beating your wings because you get tired. Hollow bones actually help deliver more oxygen directly into the muscles needed. Okay? The only hollow bones they have are the upper wing, the upper leg. The rest of the bones are solid or have marrow in them to produce blood cells. So hollow bones are pneumatic bones. In fact, when we're operating on a bird of prey and they nick one of these bones, these hollow bones, the bird's under and breathing, you can actually hear air expelling through the hollow bones as it's circulating. Birds in general, that means all birds, have the most complex respiratory system of any animal on this planet. You take in one breath. They can take in more than one and circulate it through their entire body. They have air sacs that act as bellows. Okay, so birds are amazing. They can fly a long ways. These right here are rigatory feathers, rigatories. These are actually primary feathers. They give the bird speed. The coverts here give it lift or spill air out. Give me some other methods of flight. How can a bird cheat? So it doesn't have to. How can it cheat? Think about it. You ever fly a kite? How do you think it could cheat? You ever fly a kite and feel a kite in the wind? How do you think? Go ahead. So what's it riding on? Air currents, that's right. Migrations, birds like to ride air currents just like jets do. Save energy if you go with the air current. Going against it, you sort of got to fight it. That's a solving of things. Anybody have a kayak down a river? Or a canoe down a river? If you go with the current, you don't have to paddle as much. You just have to steer. And the tail on a bird is a rudder. So this bird just cruises. And cruises and cruises. It stays up there. On the owl's wing, this is a barred owl's wing. There's your primaries, okay, rigatories, and there's your coverts. On the owl's wing, there's a fringe that runs along the first primaries. Anybody know why the owls have that fringe? And these birds don't have it. This is straight and crisp. What purpose would that serve for an owl when he's hunting? What do you think? Keep them silent. That fringe breaks up the airflow over the wing. Owls have silent flight. They're stealthy. Cool. Okay, so now that we know who the birds are, we're going to start with the owls, and I have to put these away because we don't want to upset the birds. Okay?
That's what she said.
I'm going to start with Babe. All my birds have names. I named them because they are in captivity. We don't want children to be afraid of them, okay? You cannot touch any of these birds. As I walk around, I get up close and personal to you. Do not be afraid. But do not reach out and touch the birds. You're not allowed to do that. These birds are trained to get up close and personal to the public because they know I'm here and I'm the safety zone. So as you see, I put the glove on because I don't really want talons to my flesh. And Dave is a barred owl, wetland species, and he's an imprint. And I'll explain what an imprint is. Come on out, Dave. Turn around, come on out. Hey. Ow, 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 come on. Be nice. Hey, what's going on? Oh, I know, what's going on? Imprint means it's a bird that was in the possession of somebody at an early age, and unfortunately it got imprinted on humans. So it thinks humans are owls. Right, yes you do, don't you? Yes, I know. Babe is a young bird. This is a male, females are bigger. You see that beautiful run of tail there, and the barring, and the facial dish. The ears on a bird are right here. Stick my finger in the ear canal. Okay, that's where his ears are. There's one opening up there, and the other one's a little low. I know. Right there. And when I walk around, it's going to look cat-like to you. It's going to have these whiskers that look like sticking out. Those are feathers. Okay, those are rictal bristles, and they channel sound into the bird's ears. And the really whispery ones here, you can feel with when he sticks his head in a hollow of a tree to climb in. This is the bird that makes a sound that sounds like whoop, whoops for you, whoops for you all. Whoop, 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 whoop. We don't want to do that today, do we? No, we don't. They eat bats. They eat fish in the shallows. They eat small birds, mostly mice. They'll eat other owls. Owls are cannibals. They'll eat screech owls, saw-whet owls. Remember, this is the ecology. Biodiversity. Birds and other animals eat one another. That's how they survive. There are no grocery stores for these animals. Everything out there has to be in the proper abundance for them to survive. In return, barred owls are eaten by great horned owls or other species during the day. Is that cool? Hi, babe. What's going on? Hey, Ryan. Hi, babe. What's going on? Huh? Are your feet cold? What are you, cold? You gotta put those down. Yes? Okay. All right, we're cold. All right. No, it's cold, Mom. It's really cold out. And we're just molting our feathers. We're just getting in the top part of the feathers, just coming in. They came to me as a woman who was walking her dog in the spring after a storm down a trail, sort of like a place like this. I think it was up in Mansfield somewhere. And the tree had come crashing down across the trail, and she was crossing the tree because it was all smashed. It was a little rotten tree. And her dog found it, a little cotton ball. And it was like in this debris. There were two of them. One was dead. It rained on them. The other one was almost dead. She picked it up. She goes, "Oh my God, it's a little baby owl. The eyes aren't even open. Hadn't been 2 days old." So she put it in her pocket. And then went to the vet. And the vet called me and said, "We have a problem. We have a very young owl. We don't think he's going to survive." I had to nurse him back. It took about 6 months to get him back into health. And he is fine. But he's non-releasable because I could not find another nest to put him in. What we usually do when we find baby owls that young, we'll find another nest that have the same age owlets in it, and we can put them back in. It has to be the same age, pair of clothes. It says it's going to reintroduce that, but because he was just too young to do that wood. So it was either euthanasia or keep him. So I decided I'll keep him. He's worked out pretty good for shows. Yeah, spoiled rotten too. Spoiled rotten. Who spoils you? Mommy spoil you? Yes, Mommy spoils you. She says, I can fly, Mommy. Yes, I can. I can fly. Isn't that cool? Now, this is a dark-eyed owl. I have another dark-eyed owl, and it's the most widely distributed owl in the world. It's called the barn owl. We have barn owls around here. Okay? Barn owls are great for the only owl with a heart-shaped face.
It's Rachel.
Rachel. Rachel's Captain Fred. Come on. No, there's no music today. She's not dancing, folks. You perceive it as dancing. She's actually threatening you. Stay back. And she says, stay back, I'm a barn owl. I'll hurt you. This is a cool bird. These are worldwide. Okay, in some countries they're called moth owls because it looks like a moth when it flies. They hover. We call them barn owls. In some countries they call them monkey-faced owls because it looks like a capuchin monkey. Very cool bird. This is a species of concern in New England because this is its most northern range. This bird doesn't tolerate deep snow. From the point we are right now, there are more barn owls on Martha's Vineyard in the Cape because they don't get a lot of snow, especially on the islands. 1 year, Martha's Vineyard had what we call a 100-year storm, where they had a big snowpack. All the barn owls perished that winter. 2 pairs survived, and out of those 2 pairs, they replenished the island again. So it's not easy for a bird to survive. It's very hard on them. This is why we protect them. This is why we don't interfere with the wild populations. It's why they're protected. They have enough with nature killing them off without humans doing it. Now, believe it or not, this bird is found in Hawaii, South Pacific Islands, Australia, Africa, Europe, North America, Central and South America. They vary very slightly but have the same heart-shaped face. Isn't that cool? And they're low flies because their hearing is so good. So a lot of times they get hit by cars because they fly low over roads in front of cars in Europe. Isn't that cool bird? And you can see that captive bred ring right here, U.S. government ring. That was put over her foot when she was a chick. In order to make her legal for captive bred birds, that has to be on there before that foot grows. And she's flying. So, she's a dark-eyed owl. Very dark eyes. Dark-eyed owls will hunt on moonless nights or in the middle of the night. They don't need any light to see by. If I stuck her in a room with no windows and put a mouse in the middle of the floor, she'd find it every time in that room. Just by her hearing, not her eyesight. Yellow-eyed owls need light to see by. Yellow-eyed owls hunt mostly dawn and dusk. And the traditional ones are usually the little screech owls you hear about dawn and dusk. The reason they have those ear tufts is they're trying to break up the outline of their body because you can still see them as silhouettes. The largest of the yellow-eyed owls around here is actually the snowy owl that comes from the Arctic tundra down here during the winter. But the one that stays around here that we have is the great horned owl. And the great horned owl is a lot more ferocious than a snowy owl. And we're going to meet my great horned owl. I have 2 men. I brought one. Are you ready to go back in there? Hold on. Great horned owl. This is a male. If the birds of prey, a male is a third the size of a female.
No.
Now,
Yeah.
yellow-eyed owls, you'll see beautiful during the day. By the way, owls see in black and white. These are feather tufts, break up the outline of his body, dawn and dusk, so he doesn't get seen as an owl while he tries to kill his prey. Their favorite prey is skunk. This bird has no sense of smell. Only that skunk tastes real good. In fact, none of these birds have a sense of smell except one that I brought with me. And you see how he pivots his head around? He has extra vertebrae, 7 more than usual. His ears are right here. They tickle, don't they? And look at these talons. They have about 500 pounds per square inch in their grip. A golden eagle has almost 2,000. The bells on here are falconry bells. Where's the other bell? You took it off, didn't you? It's in the box, isn't it? That's how to locate them. When I hunt with a bird of prey, it's not on my glove anymore. It's on hook and thrown in a tree. The bird turns around, looks at me. Then I start brushing with a ski bow or a hunting dog for a game. When the game breaks, I yell, ho, ho. The bird goes after it. Sometimes gets it, sometimes doesn't. In falconry is the purest form of hunting, the most natural form of hunting because you're using nature against nature. No man-made devices whatsoever. That barn owl you saw, believe it or not, if you guys like California wine, you might really appreciate the barn owl. Because in the vineyards of California, they have learned to use nature. They put up nest boxes for barn owls every 30, 40 feet in the vineyard. They don't use pesticides to get rid of gophers. They use the barn owl. So out west, farmers are starting to put up perches for ferruginous hawks and red-tailed hawks in their fields. Because the hawk will rid the fields of the pest. Again, less dependent on pesticides. Now, great horned owls will eat a variety of food, from insects to mice, small birds, other owls, skunks, kit foxes. Is that something? Yeah, I know, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, great horned owls range from the lower Arctic Circle above Canada, throughout Canada, southern parts of Alaska, throughout North America, Central and South America. They're not migratory. There are 12 subspecies, and there might be a 13th, the Rocky Mountain great horned owl. Yes. He's a 2006 hatch. Okay, now the older owl is a 2003 hatch. Okay. Oh, wow! Look at owls. We know why they look the way they do. Nocturnal. Even though they can hunt during the day, they are active during the day. The reason you don't see an owl during the day is Mr. Owl hears you coming before you even see it. It goes and hides in the woods until you go by, then comes back out. Now, we're going to look at, we're actually going to look at hawks. I have a red-tailed hawk with now, I've had Ron for about 17 years. He was hit by a car 17 years ago. He's probably older than that. I'd say he's probably at least 25, almost 30. It's an older bird, it's an older male red tail. It's this wing. Yeah, it is. It's that wing, right? Yes, it is. Beautiful bird. Gorgeous tail. Right now the birds are molting. They're ending their molt. They start molting in April. They end in October. Usually they end with this red tail. He ends with this tail feather. There's one coming in. Another one, maybe. That's the last of it. Those will last him for the winter. He's got some primaries coming in. He's losing the underneath the down. That's all coming in for the winter. Next April, we'll actually go through the molt again. It takes 6 months for all these birds to do that. You can see the 3 toes in the front, 1 in the back, the hallux. This is a bird that grabs its game to the ground, pressing it to the ground. They'll eat rabbits, squirrels, if you get a bird, they have to press it to the ground. They're not designed to take birds out of the air. That's why you see crows messing with me. Crows are smart. They won't mess with a falcon, because a falcon will take a bird out of the air. They don't touch that. But they'll touch, these guys, these red tails, and hit them. Because they know the red tail's not designed to take things out of the air. Unless they can force the crow to the ground, and then it's another story. Then it's a dead crow. Red tails right now. You see a light-colored red tail with streaks. The tail is red. That's this year's baby, juvenile. They're on their own now. Parents have left them. They got to hunt and they got to survive all winter. Mother Nature kills 85% of all the birds of prey every winter. If you do not know how to feed yourself, stay away from your enemies, such as bobcats, coyotes, and wolves and such, you will surely die. If you do not know how to eat your prey right, you will surely die. If it is stolen from you from another hawk, you will surely die. You will starve to death. This is how nature makes sure that the strongest and the most genetically fit survive. Now that 15% that makes it to next year, they don't breed for another 4 years. They have to get it right for 4 years. That's why the bald eagle's head turns white in 4 years. When it turns white, it's an adult breeder. It's telling its species. I've gotten it right for 4 years. I've survived. I know how to raise a family and how to train them to hunt. And that is the rite of passage for these birds. And this is why we do not shoot these birds. We do not kill them. They do not know the possession of chickens, the possession of pigeons. These birds are hardwired through millions of years of evolution to take out the numerous and the not so right. One of the things that we forget, when we domesticate an animal, we take the smartness out of it for our own use. So those animals are not that bright to stay out there. So to this bird, who's hardwired for that, it is only trying to remove something that does not belong in the environment. So you have to really understand that. Plus they're smarter. You can build a better chicken coop. Okay? Or remove the pigeons for a while. The predator will move on. If it is a really serious problem, there is a depredatation permit that is issued by the state and the feds. Usually they hire a falconer like me to come in and trap the bird if it's not breeding season, remove the bird, take it further away and release it, okay? Trying to get the problem out of this so the ecology can function and you guys can still keep your chickens that you want a free range. So, working on things, who is the fastest diving here? And I'm not talking about diving into water. What am I talking about? Does anybody know? Diving out of the sky at 200 miles an hour plus. That's right, fastest thing. I have an old peregrine. We're looking for a new bird. I have it peels. Peels. A lot of people don't realize the peregrine falcon in this country, there are two subspecies. The Anna, Rocky Mountain peregrine falcon, which is a released bird, they believe, through falconry. And then on the west coast, you have the peeled falcon. We have tundras. We have the tundra peregrine here. Now, the bird I have is a peel. It's a west coast bird. Much of his weight. Now, a lot of people will look at me and go, what do you mean overweight? Some people are the only ones that got overweight. This is a very fat hawk, okay? He should not have a breast like that. You are overweight. He has been eating really well. He's molted out his beautiful, isn't that gorgeous? Red shoulders are not very big hawks. They're not as big as a red tail. They have this beautiful black and white tail. Very flashy wings. Okay? Very a noisy bird. Very obnoxious early in the morning. It screams all the time. It seems like that's all it likes to do. Red shoulders are more of a southern bird. This is their most northern range. They do breed in Massachusetts. It's a snake eater. Snakes, this is the chipmunk's worst nightmare. Since we've had a big chipmunk population this year, there's been more red-shouldered hawks to eat the chipmunks. They'll eat insects, grasshoppers, earthworms, anything like that in the grass. They'll eat small squirrels, but they don't take on big gray squirrels. Not like a red tail. It's got little tiny feet. And that's a red-shouldered hawk. Now what I mean overweight is these birds all summer are not flown. because they have to molt out their feathers. So in order to molt out their feathers, they have to have all the energy they need to build new feathers. Each feather takes 6 weeks to grow. If I cut back his weight while he's molting, his feathers will have stretch marks in it and they'll break. He'll turn brittle. So in order for that not to happen, we fly Rufus usually in the middle of winter. When all his feathers are done, he molted beautiful this year. Okay, usually breaks feathers. You're overweight. You're just all over the place. So in order to bring his weight down, he eats leaner food. Instead of eating quail, we eat rat, which is leaner. And hopefully get enough exercise in, because you've got to fly next month in Martha's Vineyard. So you better lose that extra weight that way. Okay? So now we'll look at the peregrine falcon. Now we'll see what a red falcon is. You guys want coffee? Oh, my girl. Hi, dear. Sarge is an old... Got food stuck on your feet. Right there. Right there. All right, so we'll stay. Don't laugh at me, okay? She's got cataracts. She's going blind. She doesn't fly anymore. She's an ex-falconry bird. Captain Red, there's the ring right there. Look at her long toes. Her feet are long like that because she's a bird eater. She has to be able to get through the feathers to hang on to the quarry. I used to fly peregrine falcons. We're probably going to get a sacred falcon, an African falcon to fly for next year. And what we do is when we hunt with these birds, we make sure there's game in the field. Usually pheasant, it has to be a bird, or ducks on a pond. And what we do is use hunting dogs. These birds are trained to hunt dogs. And we send the bird up. The falcon don't fly straight up. It has to climb. Goes in a circle around the falcon, or a big circle. If I was flying her in this field, she made me clear the tree line as she gains to 2,000 feet or more. Once she gains to that altitude, the circles are tighter up there. And she watches me, paying attention to what I'm doing. But what I usually do is start in on the pond with the ducks, scaring the ducks off the pond. There's no ducks up there, stop looking up there, okay? When the ducks break to get away from me, they do not see this predator powering down. When she powers down, she closes her wings. They are compressed like this with feet straight back. She gains speeds of over 200 miles an hour on a dive. She's able to breathe while she's doing that because in her nostrils are what we call tubercles. They control airflow. So she's still breathing. If she has to chase her quarry and cut and chase it, and there's a glare of the sun, she has a mylar stripe right here that breaks up the glare of the sun on her face so the sun doesn't blind her. We steal from nature. Who in sports uses the same method? Yeah, so we're both places. Don't want to miss that ball on a sunny day. Put that mylar stripe on, which we call eyeglass. So pretty cool. She's about 20, 25. They only lived for 25 years. She was about 25 years. The gentleman who gave her to me saw her this year and said she still looks good, but she's pretty old. She's an old girl. Huh, you're an old girl, but you're still here, huh? She goes, yeah, I am. Falcons are sweet birds. Very, very sweet. I love my falcon. In fact, we have one of the smallest falcons with us today, and we'll introduce you to Toby in a minute. Toby's a kestrel, and that's the noisy bird you hear. Whenever we have a new bird, the new bird is very, very noisy because it doesn't understand what is going to happen. It hears my voice and identifies with my voice, and so it screams. It's like, I'm here, don't forget me, I know where you are. Eventually, after about a year or two, they stop that once they get the idea of what's going on. They don't feel like they're being left out. Everything's a routine. Sarge, you want to show me wings? Hey. She's a gorgeous. You see that sickle-shaped wings? Those are built for speed. Built for speed. I know, you want a treat. So you got something. Yeah, I know, I can't see you. You're in an old age again. I can't fool you, can I? She goes, yeah, you got some food in there, huh? Nah, I just don't know. Yes, I know I do. Hey, be nice about how you grab that. Okay, there you go. She's a good girl. Who's a good girl? Yeah, she's eating quail. Pieces of quail. Quail's a small bird. Basically, the diet on all these birds is quail. The quail has to be raised specially Satiate the feathers. That cleans her crop out. When she pops up a pellet, it cleans out any grease or anything in her crop. It keeps her stomach clean. And she's just very gentle about how she eats. And the quail come frozen. 100 quail cost me about $300-something with shipping. I go through about 1,000 quail or more a year. So it's quite expensive to maintain birds of prey. We do use rodent diet. The mice come from Charles River breeding labs or any labs like that because they're disease-free. You can't have any diseases on the food. And what they are is they're what we call animals that are gratis or not used. So they give them to rehabilitators and zoos for feed, which is great. No waste. There you go. Go ahead. And she's going to swallow all of that. And would you like a drink of water with that? You need something to wash it down? No? Falcons are really sweet birds. Okay, so let's go back to the
Yes, she does.
Oh, Tommy, come here.
Look at him.
You did that wrap up everything. How did you do that? I have no idea how you do these things, but you do these things, don't you? Come here. Let's untangle that. Being a new bird, they don't get it sometimes. And we sort of learn to twist these things up. Never take in a baby hawk. It's illegal for you to do that. Somebody had Toby illegally, and they had him as a pet for the kids. They were caught walking down the street with him on their shoulder, like a parrot. He knows no difference. He lands on people. Toby's a pretty cool bird. This is an American kestrel. This is the smallest falcon we have. Believe it or not, there is a smaller falcon in the world called a pygmy falcon, which is smaller than this. This is a male. Did I dropped something, didn't I? You have good eyesight, don't you? Very good eyesight. You don't miss anything. So, yeah. Toby's just learning. This is a male. Females have bars that go completely around these blue wings. Okay, you see he has eyeballs in the back of his head too. Because he's so small, he can be on the menu. So I have to watch out what's around. You don't want Toby eaten by something or hot. Birds of prey aren't cannibals like I told you. It's called survival of the fittest. Cooper's hawk is his enemy. Cooper's hawk and sharpshin. They would take one of this. How in the heck do you do these things, huh? Toby, my word. Now, Toby's being trained for different things, and one of the things, since he's an imprint, is we're training him for flight tricks. And being an imprint, it's pretty safe, as long as it's no dragonflies, so he'll take off and a dragonfly somewhere. Stop screaming. It's becoming annoying. Stop it. And as soon as I can get this foolish thing off, and it's coming, and Toby's looking around. I don't want Toby going up in a tree. Because Toby's looking and saying, there must be bugs up there. We don't want to sit around all day waiting for me to bug. Okay? In training these birds, we usually train them on a tree on them. And Toby knows what this is. Toby's getting anxious, going, Mom, let's get going. I'm human. Wait. Have some patience with me. And I'm not going to tie him up. The cleanout is a safety line for new birds, just to make sure that we don't lose them. Because they can take off. Hey. Stop it. And I'm going to stick him right here on the table, girls. If he lands on you, don't be afraid. He's not going to hurt you. Just don't touch him, okay? When we train birds to prey like this, he's not going to hurt you. He's a little bird. Oh, no? really together. This is like the trial, like, you know, when we first train people to fly a bird of prey, the funniest thing is they have a red-tailed hawk they've been training on the treants. The bird's been coming, and I will sit there and look at them, because I'm the falconer, I'm training you, and I'll say, unhook the bird. You want to see people's faces, like after they've gotten this bird and they trained it, like I'm asking the most horrible thing in the world. Unhook the bird and just let it come on its own. It works. Once you know the bird is there, he's not filled up. If he lands on you, do not be afraid of him. He can't hurt you. He's not a little bird. Toby, I didn't call you yet. Toby! Up! What are you looking at? Something else up there? So watch out because you'll be in there. Hi, Toby. Come on up here. You're fun birds to fly. I did not call you, did I? Stand up there. Wait till I call you.
Yeah, I know.
Watch this. And he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. I didn't call you. That's okay, we don't sit. Isn't that cool? Yeah, you got two. He says, ooh! He's this year's hatch. He's eating his food. He says, that was good. The reason we don't let the public pet him, it will train him to go to the public. And we don't want that, okay? We know sometimes he does land on people. So, we're not letting he'll take them on.
Goodness, look at this. We see these a lot.
Yes, the climate is changing. And it's changing. The planet is alive. Now, this culture used to come up as far as the Connecticut Valley. Now the turkey culture is into Canada. For the first time, they are breeding in Massachusetts. They're nest sites. And for the first time, turkey vultures are all migrating every winter. Some go south, some go as far as Montana. Classy birds. Officially, the black vulture is officially here, but does not stay. It migrates back. It's moving further north. We're finding out that southern species, even in the water, in the oceans, are moving north because the climate's changing. The currents in the ocean are warming up. The winters are getting milder. So it's not unusual for species to do this. Change range. This is the only bird of prey in North America, other than the yellow-headed vulture, that actually hunts by smelling. His nose is designed that way so he can smell the dead 12 miles away. And it doesn't have to be rotten, it can be recently dead, and they will locate it. They're doing studies on this, on how this bird actually locates things like that. His head has no feathers on it because he sticks his head in places you would never stick your hand. Inside that disgusting carcass to get the goodies out, the internal organs. You have to eat the inside out. It's like a kid eats the Oreo cookie. Now, important bird. This bird is very important to the ecology of the planet because this bird stops diseases. When each an animal that died of a disease, the disease is usually stopped in this bird. They're doing a study on this. They discovered something. Botulism, very deadly form of salmonella, will kill you. This bird eats an animal that has botulism in it, that it died of. The botulism bacteria are destroyed in his gut. His gut is so vile inside, even botulism cannot. So, amazing bird. Everything has a purpose out there. Kids, if you want to learn more about this, get a book and read more about it. I'm going to give you a tidbit of what this is all about. And I thank you all for coming out today. This was a good day, and thank you.